And we are back. Minecraft Hardcore. Apologies. It's been a minute since we've done one of these, but I've just been doing little off-camera updates and whatnot. So we're going to get you caught up on that. And then I've got a small project I would like to do today. It's raining currently in Minecraft. Not in the real world. It's bright and gray outside. Thunder. That thunder could signal doom, as I nearly died off camera because of a thunderstorm. So we're going to sleep through that. But essentially I was in the village, and a thunderstorm came through, and lightning struck a skeleton, which creates effectively the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and that was not fun. But we made it through. Anywho, so get you caught up on our inventory currently. Still rocking diamond. I just went on a little diamond expedition. 33 diamonds in our inventory currently. Thank you to our Fortune 3. That's right, Fortune 3. We've got that on our pickaxe, along with mending. And then I now have a sword with sweeping edge 3 as well, which is helpful for one of our farms. Actually, both of our farms that I've created off camera. In one of those farms, you may see an indicator here. I have 2 full stacks of arrows and a bow that now has a power 4, unbreaking 3, and mending as well. Not infinity, like I was hoping for, but now that we've got an infinite supply of arrows coming in, I'm not too worried about having infinity. So we'll talk about those here shortly. But for right now, I need to put some things away, because I was rocking a recent expedition. So we just want to make sure everything's nice and clean. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is I'm going to head to the village, show you a couple of small updates there. But we're going to go there by way of our fishing location. Let's see how our cows are doing. As you can see, we've got cows. So let's keep going over here. I decided to make things a little safer for myself when it comes to traveling to the village. I could have gone underneath in our tunnel. I realized that I'm a little bit on the tired side. So if you'll excuse me for a second, let's just come on down here. Do this the old school way. Alright, we should be fine. Coming down the cliffside. We've done it before. We can do it again. Oh, stuck in some water. Okay, little sheep. Alright, here we go. So, we'll do a fishing update, just to show you what we've got currently. So right now, a good amount of fish. As you can see, some nautilus shells, tripwire hooks, a little bit of strings, some ink sacks, a lot of saddles. Curse of Vanishing for a book, power 4, looting 2, breach and unbreaking. Our fishing rod now has, along with Luck of the Sea, has lure, which means we will catch stuff a little bit faster. Got some leather boots, Curse of Vanishing, and Luck of the Sea on the rod, and then this bow has power 3 on it. Everything you see here, with the exception of, well, actually, technically, I fished up our initial Luck of the Sea on there, and then fished up Lure 3 as well. So all this is just from fishing. Anywho, I decided that instead of going through here and then walking through there, let's take a more direct path. So I've got a boat over here, and I had to remove a little bit of the land to make a more direct path. Namely, right here, there was a little bit of land, hence why the water kind of goes up and then down. But now we've got this pretty quick and easy, I see you, creeper. But yeah, we got a relatively quick and easy way to get over here to the village, which I've kind of started making almost like a little dock, so to speak, for ourselves right here. I've also kind of cleaned up a bit of the village as far as like the odd geometry of the way some things are laid out. We have now spawned more villagers, and by spawned I mean, they made some more villagers. Yeah. So we've got our mending vendor. Hello. We've got a Fortune 3 vendor. Hello. I've really been trading with the Fletcher here, who's now an expert, so we can trade sticks still for emeralds, string, which we have a farm for emeralds, and we could trade some emeralds for a bow, feathers as well. That's all good. Our farmers are out there still doing their thing, but also I now have a fisherman who I can trade coal, simple coal, for an emerald. I'd say that's a pretty good thing to have. But of course, I can take all of those fish that I have and trade them for emeralds as well. So that's the village part of the update. I've started essentially making my own farms sort of over here. So like this one and then that one over there are my farms along with the farm we have back at base. So that way, I can come here every once in a while, make sure the crops are there, good to go. You can see there's a little baby villager running around. And that is because I have gone through and in a number of these buildings have added extra beds. So over here at what would have been more of like an armor smithing, blacksmithing kind of house, I've cleared it out a little bit, added beds, so that way the villagers have places they can reproduce. So our village, as long as we're near it, will continue to grow until they run out of beds. And then we'll just go and make more. Ease, peas, lemon squeeze. Now, on to the task at hand. What I want to do is go back to our house and move our enchanting station that we've made for ourselves. And this will accomplish a couple of things. So I want to move the enchanting station closer to where one of my farms is, which I'll show you here in a bit. So that way, instead of having to go back to the house to enchant and use our XP, we can just do a lot of it right there. But it's also going to give me a safer entry into our mining area instead of having to leave the house, go up the hill right here, and then in like that. So it helps with a couple of things. I've got the coordinates written down for kind of an entrance point I'd like to get to in our particular mine area. Namely, like as normally we'd go down a bunch of stairs and then take a left turn. Where that left turn happens is where I'd like a direct way to get to from our house. So I've got those coordinates written down, and the idea is going to be, we just come into here, we come down to here, we bring up our little coordinates. So we're at 61, 91, 97, and 1213. I need to get to 61, 64, 51. So I need to go in a few blocks, in a couple of different directions, and then 1249. So we're not too far away. So the good news is I just need to figure out exactly which direction, north, south, east, west they need to go, and then obviously we're going to need to go down a little ways. So I'm going to essentially pick up all of this. We're still going to have the banner. And then I'm going to take this whole setup into our mine area, namely right by a farm. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'll catch up with you here in a bit whenever I've made some progress on that. And then we'll start setting up a new enchanting area / old one. And I'll show you the two farms. So see you in a bit. And we have made it. So here's the stairs that normally we'd go up kind of that mountain part and then come down and then we'd turn this way. But now I've got my tunnel that, just comes through here. It goes up a little ways, turns back towards our house. So now in order to come into the mines, we don't have to leave and go outside, so we can avoid potential, safety issues. Now, there's clearly a skeleton roaming around somewhere. There's some of the stuff I've mined out. So just while we're here, let's just be at the ready. I'm pretty sure I've got most of this covered. I decided to kind of go around and do a little bit of adventuring. But let me show you the first farm that I set up. It should be around here, namely around the other way, but I'm just making sure that I've got this place nice and lit up. And this leads back to where we just were. Okay. Skeletons coming from somewhere, I just don't know where. Anywho. So around here is where we found that spider spawner a long time ago. And I have walled it off. And over here have set up a nice little spider farm. So essentially the spiders spawn in at the spawner. They land in water, which pushes them into this little tunnel here. And then whenever we give them some slices, we get the XP. And then their loot drops into one of a few hoppers here. So for example, sometimes skeletons spawn in, but we got string and spider eyes, string and spider eyes, string, spider eyes. And then I've got a little crafting areas just in case. Did a little extra mining over that way. So yeah, we've got this. Nice, safe farm. Now, if we come back over this way, back to our regular tunnel area that we were just at, and we come down a little bit further. Just a bit further. I was coming down this way and I started hearing, you know, like random noises and stuff like that, so I decided, let me go investigate. Didn't really come up with much, so I said, all right, well, I'm here, let me just dig down and I'll start up, you know, maybe another mine or something like that from a different location. And what I came across in my adventuring, we'll just come on down, I've set up a safety net of sorts with this water, so if I happen to miss that ladder and fall, the water will save me. Right here, what we've got is here in a bit, when things spawn in, here they come. So there's a skeleton spawner that I stumbled across in my adventuring and set up the same idea. Skeletons spawn in, they land in water, get funneled into basically this one area. And you'll see it's like one little block. There's also skulk sensor that's nearby. So gotta be careful if I decide to adventure past where my farm is set up. And this little area was where I was kind of going in and making the final touches before turning the farm on, so to speak. But we come into here. Let's do... See? Nice amount of XP coming in. Look at this. Bones, arrows, all that fun stuff. But what I want to do, though, is set up my enchanting area near here. Hopefully not stumble across this skulk, deep, dark stuff. That's the idea. Is I want to set up all of that. Probably build out back this way a little bit so I can sit here, get XP, turn around, look at enchanting something, turn back around, get XP, look at enchanting something. That's the general idea. And also, after a certain point, if you start to let these skeletons continue to spawn in, they will reach a spawn limit, and also how many can fit into one block, and they'll start to die. And then I can come over here just real quick, because they'll start taking damage. So, there's that. But yeah, this is the idea, is come in here, get some XP, go back around over here, start doing some enchanting and stuff like that. That's the idea. So I am going to get this going. It's basically me digging out a bit of a wall, setting up our enchanting table with our bookshelves and all that fun stuff again. So I'll do that. See you in a bit. All right, it is a good morning. So, and it's also definitely getting to be a good morning here. The sun has come out. But anywho, Where are we day-wise? We're on day 106. So there we go. I survived 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. Challenge completed. YouTube video over. Anyway, one thing I just did was finish the little area here. So now we've got our little mine path. We could use this for who knows what at some point. But there we go. Got that all taken care of. Now, the next thing we need to do is bring our lapis down to our enchanting area. Start getting some enchanting going. Otherwise, what did I do? I basically just cleaned up my inventory of stuff, put it away. So yeah, now we're just gonna head on down to the mines, do a little bit of enchanting. I'll see you then. Alright, welcome to our enchanting area. Hopefully I've got this set up correctly to where we can, just as an example, I'll put my axe there. We've got options for level 30. I can get efficiency 4 on my axe. That's not too bad. I'd rather it be a diamond axe for that, if I'm being honest, which I've got plenty of. But my armor is something I've been wanting to get enchantments on. So let's look here. Unbreaking, protection. So yeah, it's Unbreaking 3, and then, you know, potentially some other stuff. It cost me 3 lapis lazuli or lazuli and 3 enchantment levels. So as long as we're level 30, as I'm showing here, over here on this right side, that's where we have to be. We have to be level 16, level 6. And it would cost us 1, 2, or 3 levels. But you know what? Getting me some, let's see, Unbreaking. I mean, that's not bad. It's not great, but you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Boom. Got our enchanter. So now we've got just Unbreaking 3. Now if we put it back in, we can't re-enchant it. So there's that. So at least now, got a little enchantment on there. But I definitely want to look at getting my axe enchanted, a shovel, getting that enchanted. That could be cool. I also want to set up better storage. Now, the items you see here that are in this storage came from the chests that were in the spawner room. So we got a little bit of rotten flesh, some music, 3 buckets, some string, and some iron horse armor. So for now, I'm just going to put my lapis in there. That'll be our little lapis area. But yeah, here's our enchanting setup to go with our little XP farm. Speaking of XP. Boom. See? It just works. And then all of that stuff will go in there. If I look at the hopper, there's the items it's picked up going into there. Now, that is not all, dear... Oh, I'm going the wrong way. That is not all, dear readers. Let me get a torch so we can see a bit better, and hopefully I remember this location. I heard more noises recently that were coming from the walls of my mine while I was doing my minings and whatnots. So I stumbled across potentially another location, and I think, yeah, it's right here. So as I was mining through, I heard spider noises, essentially, and found cobblestone just already here. I didn't place this cobblestone, and that usually indicates another spawn room. So I wanted to also, in today's video, maybe, you know, give a little looky-loo. Sure enough, we've got a spawner. Okay, so let's be careful, because I don't know what else is down there. I'm kind of looking, but I definitely hear spiders. Oh, this may be more than just a spider spawning room. If I can place another torch, that would be nice. This might be a mine shaft cart kind of area. I'm gonna have to dig down just a little bit more, and I'd rather not. Yep, this is definitely an abandoned mine shaft. Okay. Let's just... Because if any of these spiders are poisonous, that is bad news for us. Like, really bad. But that's what it looks like, is that this is potentially an abandoned mine shaft, which is going to have all of the monsters in it. So, speaking of monsters, let's break out our bow. Alright, so what I'd like to do... Oh yeah, we got treasure right there. Okay, let me switch over to this real quick. Alright. I'm gonna need... We're gonna have to do this, just kind of do this, that, and this is gonna be the tricky one. It sounds like there's a zombie right behind us, too. Basically, I just need to build some walls, but want to be able to see through them. Okay. Alright. So we got another spawner. This is, based on the looks of it, a regular spider spawner. Okay. More music. Alright, some gunpowder. More saddles. Rotten flesh. Some wheats. And whatnot. Okay. We'll just leave this as is for now. Now right over here. Let's be careful. Let's see. We got more chest kind of carts. Alright. Let's bring that up. So I can, you know, kind of see through there. We'll do that a bit. Alright. Place that down. Make sure there's nothing like above or below. But I think we should be okay. I'm going to place a couple of torches there as my little indicator of, hey, this is the way out. Just light this room up nice. Nice, like. Definitely got something in there. Okay. So, got some lapis, a golden apple, some coal, a little bit of iron, nice amount of torches, an activator rail. Okay. Let's just pick up this stuff here. Right, not too bad. And the mine cart as well. All right. Yep, we got more rails, name tags, more torches. Okay. Some redstone, some bread. More powered rails. Oh, that's an activator. Regular rails, okay. And a name tag, just in case we want to name anything. Okay, this is a good little area. Abandoned mine shafts can be very bad, namely because of the poisonous spiders. Alright, let's pick up this stuff. We're gonna take this back. The saddle can stay. I've got plenty of saddles from fishing. Iron, don't have any space for any ingots and stuff. But, there we go. Okay. So got some rails. Yeah, I think this is where we're going to be doing a bit of exploration. But I think we'll save that for next time. So what I'm going to do is get back to the house, drop off some of this stuff. Lazuli. That'll go back to our little mine area for XP. and Enchanting. So I'm going to drop that off here, but I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. This will probably be just a quick, like I said, just a quick update video, but then next time we're diving directly into that abandoned mine shaft. That's going to be interesting. So before I go, as always, that was a little bit bright. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys later.